Reports state that a United States Border Patrol agent along with 2 other individuals has died in southwest Texas after a horrifying car crash. The collision happened after what some people may call an attack, or others may have called it the sick game of chicken, but the car was no match for the wild hag that caused the crash. After striking the wild animal, the vehicle then swerved into oncoming traffic and collided with another vehicle. The loss of life was an unfathomable result of a mere accident of the wild animal wandering places it shouldn't be. The accident reportedly happened sometime late Monday night on a rural road near Uvalde, which is a small town about 110 miles southwest of San Antonio, Texas. A public safety spokesman, Sergeant Conrad Hine, provided more details and declared Tuesday that a preliminary investigation indicates a Ford Expedition SUV collided with a wild hog, which tragically, in turn, caused the SUV to swerve into oncoming traffic in the 2-lane road and crash with a Mercedes SUV head-on. Both automobiles were completely engulfed in flames when authorities arrived upon the scene of the accident. The driver of the Ford Expedition is identified as 51-year-old Ruby Garza, and the driver of the Mercedes is 27-year-old Antonio Cordova. Both were pronounced dead at the scene along with the passenger in the Expedition, 51-year-old Julia Vasquez, who died later at a local area hospital. Border Patrol officials in Del Rio, Texas confirmed to local media on Wednesday that Cordova was a Border Patrol agent and had been driving home after finishing a shift at the station in Uvalde that evening. 2 additional people who were also passengers in the Expedition were injured, but there were no immediate details about their identities or their conditions. It is not clear what happened to the hog that caused the tragic accident. Texas has a growing hog population, problems that generate millions of dollars worth of damage of crops each year. Live Science reports, feral pigs going hog wild in U.S. Feral pigs are becoming a wild problem in the United States. The wild hags can now be found in 3/4 of U.S. states, and their populations are growing in many areas, and are estimated to cause $1.5 billion in damages each year, the Associated Press reports. There are currently more than 5 million wild hags in the United States, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. By all accounts, the animals are quite intelligent. They also sport razor-sharp tusks and can be aggressive toward people and pets. They have a remarkable knack for causing trouble, ranging from eating threatened species like dune lizards and spreading invasive weeds to carrying and transmitting more than 30 different kinds of diseases to humans, livestock and other wildlife, according to the app. Feral pigs' habit of digging and rooting around in the ground also tears up gardens and crop fields, and creates holes in roads that serve as hazards for cars and tractors. $1 million hunt, but the state of New Mexico isn't letting the pigs get away with those antics. The state recently partnered with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a $1 million project to hunt, trap and kill the animals. The plan is to hit the animals in a single coordinated effort, because the pigs are so smart that they can learn from failed efforts to trap them and avoid the snares in the future. They're much brighter than I am, Ray Powell, a veterinarian and New Mexico's land commissioner, told the app. If they had the dexterity, they'd be driving vehicles around. I mean, these guys are really smart. Hunters will also employ a Judas pig. After finding and killing a hog family, officials will intentionally leave one pig alive, usually an adult female. This Judas pig will then be outfitted with a tracking collar in order to lead state officials to a new set of pigs, which the surviving hag will seek out, the app reports. Image gallery, the most destructive invasive species, multiplying hogs. Texas may have the most wild hags of any U.S. state, and the situation is expected to worsen, despite the $7 million per year that Texans spends to keep the animals' numbers down, the app reports. A recent study by Texas A&M University found that the number of feral pigs is likely to triple in 5 years in the state of Texas if serious efforts aren't made to reduce feral pig populations, according to the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. If a feral hag so produces a dozen piglets, 13 survive, goes an old joke, according to the Avalanche Journal. But feral pig reproduction is no laughing matter. The animals may start reproducing when they're just 6 months old, and their litters average about 6 sows, reports Mississippi State University. They produce an average of 1.5 litters per year. Feral pigs were introduced to North America in the 1500s by Spanish explorers and were used for hunting. In the wild, they can grow to be up to 300 pounds, 136 kilograms, or more, according to U.S. government figures. Not one to shy away from controversy, or a porcine genocide, the rock musician Ted Nugent killed 455 wild hogs in a recent hunting expedition in Texas. "I did it for Bill Maher and all those other animal rights freaks out there," Nugent said, according to Live.com. He allegedly donated the meat to the homeless. Feral hags do more than $1.5 billion a year in damages. They damage crops and spread dozens of diseases. Investigators are field testing poison baits made from a preservative that's used to cure bacon and sausage as a way to control the hog population. Tests are reported to begin in early 2018, in West Texas, and continue in central Alabama. They hope to discover a humane method of tempering their wild population that causes so much damage. Considering the amount of bacon that Americans consume, there shouldn't be a problem figuring out what you do with a few extra hogs. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.